Hey everybody, Caleb Anderson here, Mountain Life 603. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, hit that like button down below. Just thought I would jump on here real quick to give a little PSA to anybody who is headed north for the weekend from now on. It is officially spring. I think it's officially spring. It was either yesterday, Sunday, or it's coming up next Sunday, but springtime in the mountains is not the same as springtime in the lowlands. People from Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, Rhode Island, other places come to New England and to New Hampshire and specifically to the White Mountains to go hiking and don't realize that it takes a lot longer for the snow to melt up there than it does other places. So most of the trails in New Hampshire are going to have some snow on them, especially above 4,000 feet. Maybe not in your open rock areas where the sun has really gotten to it, but down in the woods and in the trails, you're going to have what we call train tracks, and it's a pyramid. And sometimes this pyramid, it's only about, two footprints wide, and it's compact snow from hikers compacting that one little train through the snow. So it's compacted, and then all the snow on the sides of it start to melt. So before the snow on the sides, so the middle of the trails are very, very compact snow. So they're slippery. You're gonna need spikes. Now we're talking spring. We're talking spring hiking. It could be 50, 60 degrees outside, and you're gonna have a very compact layer of snow on the trails in the woods. So it's only going to be about this wide, and it's going to, the compact part of it is going to just kind of pyramid down a little bit. To the sides, that snow we post hole in. And if you don't know what post holing is when you step into the snow and go up to your hip in snow. So you have this big post hole left over where your leg was in the snow. You don't want to do that. That is absolutely exhausting and frustrating as well, because it doesn't always happen. So every once in a while you'll post hole and it's terrible. Anyways, once that snow on the side of the train track melts, then you're going to have, I don't know what we call it, train track, railroad, something like that. Then you're going to have just this compact level of snow, and sometimes it can be 3 or 4 feet tall that either you're taking that or you're off in the woods, because the whole trail is still covered, compact, from lots of hikers over the winter. Spikes, micro spikes, are needed in most times in spring hiking out in the woods, because the temperature doesn't change that much. The sun doesn't get in there, and you tend to have runoff from melting snow and ice. Melting snow and ice. You have this water runoff, and then overnight it gets very, very cold, and even in the day it stays very cold because there's no sun down in there, and you have sections that you've never seen have moisture before have ice and moisture. So you're going to need some sort of micro spike or something for traction. I would suggest gaiters. If you don't know what gaiters are like an over boot almost that go up. They're like an over sock over your boot, nylon, whatever material, to protect your ankles and calves and your top of your shoes or boots from getting any debris or mud in there or wet, because it's going to be sloppy. Where it's not frozen, it's going to be sloppy. So to have gaiters is a huge advantage. That way, if you do post hole, at least you have some protection and you don't get snow all down in your boot. What else can I tell you? That your summit temperature is going to be much colder than your land, I'm not going to say sea level, but your land level. Once you start out, you can probably estimate about a 20-degree difference, negative difference from 4,000 on a 4,000 footer. So if you're at the base of a 4,000 footer in New Hampshire, in my experience, in my 38 years of experience, you can plan on it being about 20 degrees colder, no matter what no matter what time of the year. You can count on it being about 20 degrees colder on the summit of a 4,000 footer. Throw in a little wind and much colder. Things can change just like that. April is not spring in the mountains. April is still winter. You can still get cold quick. So if you started out the bottom at 60 degrees, everything's great. You're in short sleeves and shorts and, you know, sneaker type shoes and don't have that much gear with you, and it's great. It's a beautiful day. Then you get to the top of Lafayette and it's like the video that these kids just posted, middle of winter blizzard, 20 degrees with a, 40 degrees with a 20-degree wind chill and 30 mile an hour sustained 70 mile an hour gust winds. Before you know it, you're back in the winter. I have pictures of us on the summit of Mount Washington in August with this hat on. So please plan for that. Bring a layer, bring a windbreaker. A windbreaker is going to do you well. I would suggest bringing glove, hat. Also, don't forget your sunglasses. You don't want snow blindness. That's more of a winter thing anyways. But just some things to think about. Springtime is not springtime in the mountains. It's still winter up here. Please be safe. Please be smart. Let people know where you're going. Have a headlamp with you. Have a headlamp with you. Have a headlamp with you. And some basic essentials. My name's Caleb Anderson. Please subscribe. We're going to do this a little more. I'm going to tune in with you every now and then and give you a little more advice if you need it. If you don't need it and you don't want my advice, that's fine. But we have had too many people come into the White Mountains last year alone. I'm just going to say last year. We've had way too many rescues and deaths, unfortunately, in the White Mountains from people being unprepared and not knowing what they're getting into and underestimating New England White Mountains. So, hit that like button, share this video. I'll see you in the next one.